Hi, I'm Tony Fleming, and this is Fleming's Ultimate Garage. Hey, thanks for joining us on today's video. Listen, let's say you had 2, 3, or 4 years of free time, didn't have anything to do, maybe you're retired, maybe you had 60, 70, or 80 grand laying around, maybe 90 grand by the time you're all done, exchange rate and things like that, and you said you wanted to build like one of the greatest Mustangs ever. Like, let's say you wanted to go to a car show of Mustangs and you wanted to have like the top Mustangs that are there, and you had that kind of time and you had that kind of money, this is exactly what you'd build. Give me a minute to tell you why, and I think by the time I'm done, you'll say, you know what? I need to have that car. I got to figure out how to get this car in my life. Imagine first off, when you start with these first generation Mustangs, what this kind of body evokes when you drive down the road. This is amongst a beautiful showroom of supermodels, right? But this car outside of here is spectacular looking when it goes down the road. The fact that the top goes down too, oh yeah, the top, right, it's a convertible, They built very few convertibles that year compared to coupes, right? Keep in mind they built almost 600,000 of these cars during that time. Very few convertibles, but then you go ahead and you fully restore. Talk about take a car completely apart, every last part. There's almost 20,000 parts in a car. Most people don't know that, 20,000 parts in a car. Put them all in boxes, right? Maybe go inside, get a beer, and come back and look at all the boxes and go, you know what? All right, here we go, right? This is what you'd end up with. So let's take a look and start with some paint first. Now this is kind of cool because this is fiberglass. The Shelby hoods were fiberglass. And look at the finish, because a lot of times you'll get fiberglass that has matting in it and doesn't look so great compared to, say, like a metal fender. The fit and finish of this is really good. The scoop, you got to have the scoop, man, because it just adds that muscular appearance to it, right? That grille with the tri-bar and the driving lights for the GT package, all right? And what we have here is for the scoop. So what we didn't do is we didn't put a front tag on it because not every state needs that. You can tell us whether you want us to do something custom over here or find a way to get a front tag on there for you. But the front end of this car looks awesome. So we keep as we walk around, right? And little things, and I'm pointing out all this little stuff to you because they're expensive pieces. This body kit alone is around $7,000 for the hood, this front air dam, the scoops that go back there, the spoilers, the tail extensions, all of those things that go on there. 4-wheel disc brakes with 17-inch wheels in there, right? Big fat tires and big fat brakes. The car is automatically going to handle well. What we're not going to see really in detail in this video is the underneath of the car. Because the truth is, the top of the car, I don't even care one bit about it, because the top of the car doesn't determine how the car drives. The bottom of the car does. And underneath this car, the floor pans are all new and beautiful. Rack and pinion steering. The wider footprint of the wheels and tires makes it handle well. The heavy duty rear end in the back, the overdrive automatic. There's so many things underneath the car that makes exceptional driving. And when you're saying, well, that car seems like it's a lot more than some of the other cars that are out there. Well, it's a lot more to you right now, but there's a lot more to the person that built it, and that's why this is such a great deal. All right, so come on back here where there's a lot of stripes on this car. I love the fact that Mustangs come with the stripes, and they continue to go all the way down the car, all right? And you can see we're a live place, man. We're doing business. There's people walking around. Stuff's happening. Love you to be part of it. Anyway, so come check out this car, the detail of the trunk here. It's got the tartan mat in it. This is the upgraded sound system here. This is always cool because this is the way the car came, and I didn't want to steal it out of the car because I wanted you to see this. The reason I wanted you to see this is, you know, this is somebody's pride and joy when they have a California Duster in here, all right, that comes with the car. Plus it's all painted really nicely in here, even way better than the factory obviously ever was. Wet sanded and buffed underneath the trunk lid. GT350 call out, the fit finish is nice, new chrome bumpers and taillight bezels, backup lights. Look at the size of the exhaust pipes coming about. The factory exhaust pipe was like this is like that now. All right? All right. Whoa, how did all this get in here? All right, so come on up here for a second. Let's say you said, you know what, I need somebody to build me a nice 302, 289, somewhere in that 5-liter range of these engines. Okay, great, I'll take that. And that's what, you build me one around 300 horsepower, easy? Yeah, definitely 300 horsepower, no problem. Okay, cool. Oh, then we can go ahead and put on the Paxton Supercharger. We'll get you another 100 horsepower, is that good too? Now we're at 400 horsepower, right? And you want air conditioning as well? Air conditioning, that's what you said. You want us to get air conditioning? We got air conditioning as well. Check this out, modern air conditioning, all right? Original style supercharger here that you would have gotten in the GT350Rs. Aluminum radiator, so you make sure that everything runs nice and cool. Oil cooler down here for the transmission, and air conditioning system all tucked in nicely behind there. Dual horns, right? You say, well, dual horns, who cares about dual horns, Don? What's a dual horn? Well, what a lot of times what happens is the horns that we get don't even work at all. So we like to make sure that you get that, so at least you get some horns. And then let's look at the detail. Little stuff, and this is why stuff costs money, man. Everyone here who's looking at these cars knows quality. And so you can definitely buy something for a lot less, or you can pay a little more, and you'll go, well, paying a little more was bad at the time, but you'll never remember paying more when you're using the product because it's so good. And so as we've talked about the detail, like the SSBC four-wheel disc brake system, and you can adjust the proportioning valves in here, all right? Ceramic coated headers. Well, what's the big deal about ceramic coated headers? Well, they're twice the price of regular headers because of the coating that's on them, but then they don't rust and they don't look ugly when you open the hood. Well, look at these spark plug wires with these boots. See these boots right here? This keeps those wires from laying on top of the headers, the ones that are really super close. It doesn't need them on everyone, but it's on those right there. Overflow bottle. This has rack and pinion steering, so you see the steering box is gone now. And the reason it's gone is because it has modern suspension. This also has tubular control arms in here, which is a much better system than the old stamped steel system. This has the MSD electronic ignition here, so we just fire the car up. This car runs really, really well. And not to mention, we'll actually get into the transmission a little bit later, but this has a heavy-duty automatic transmission in it with a GearVendors overdrive. So it's electric. You just push the button and it gives you overdrive, so you're riding on the highway, so you can have some taller gears in the rear, so you have that snappy acceleration. And let's say you want to get on the cell phone, make a few stock sales, right? Stock sales. Hey, when it hits 100, sell, and then go take it back off overdrive, all right? So you get the best of both worlds. You get some really nice, quiet, high mileage driving with that overdrive on the highway. You can go to a car show. But let's say somebody wants to perhaps challenge you and want to race, then turn that off and you got 3 shifts and you're good, ready to go. 2 shifts, really. All right, so let's go ahead and check out. You know what I'll do? I want to stop for 1 second because I want to show you detail stuff. And this may not seem like a big deal to you, but this is the difference between a really, really nicely restored car and a car that's restored, all right? For instance, like these working. We've spent in the past 2 and 3 and 4 hours getting all the lighting to work just in the doors right here. That can be very expensive to get done. The footwell lighting is working in here, you can see. And the cockpit of this car is just, it's really, really nice. Speakers are down there like they're supposed to be. This has a great sound system. You can look in the back here, 6x9s are in the back, but it still allows you to put 2 people or up to 3 people back here, and we can put 3 seat belts back here if you wanted to. The GT350 mats, this great wheel, right? If you want to do a couple small upgrades, let's say maybe you wanted to do like a billet steering wheel to go along with the rest of the car instead of the original stock one, we could do that for you as well. And they also sell a modern version of these bucket seats if you wanted to. You don't have to because everything in here is brand new, but you could do. Air conditioning system is here. It's a modern system, so it blows really cold and has the bonus of modern heat. It doesn't take as long for everything to warm up inside the car when you hit that. Because my goal is for you to drive this car all the time, you know, not when it's snowy or salty or whatever, but there's days in the wintertime when it's just cold out. And this is a great car to take to work because these can be very therapeutic and life-changing, all right? Down here is the manual and automatic for the GearVendors under an overdrive, all right? And it'll light up and let you know that that's in place there so that you get all your acceleration back. This radio looks pretty stock, but it's got some digital components built into it. It also has a CD changer in the trunk, and we can also, if you wanted to, we could scrap or leave that there. And in the glove box, we could go ahead and put in a modern system which has satellite, streams your music and things like that, and you operate that from your phone, which is kind of pretty cool. All right, so anyway, bottom line is the Tach here and the way this car fits and feels, it's just a really, really nice car. All right, so we close up the video with this. We got a folder full of receipts and restoration stuff on this car. We've obviously spent some time showing you some of the highlights. The one thing that I can't really show you or talk to you about is what it feels like when you're in that seat. I have to tell you that based on all of the components that are there, this seat is significantly nicer than a lot of other Mustang seats. So if you can find a way to get one of the greatest Mustangs we've ever had here in your garage, call us 301-816-1000. We'll tell you all about it. All right, one of the great things about a car obviously is the sound of it, so I wanted to make sure you guys could hear that. one tiny nice thing, you know, obviously we think safety today, but this is kind of cool, that the fact that this has shoulder belts that I'm playing with. Oh, I probably loosened up too much. And look at that. It's kind of nice, huh? Cool.